listening to Rad Rolls, a Fallout Tabletop podcast.
You all travel to the super mutant camp. Upon arriving, you kind of see this kind of giant crack in the earth that it's nighttime. We've just assumed that since that's when you all wanted to go. There's kind of glowing out of the crack. It's like a green light that's kind of glowing up that's illuminating the buildings around it. There's kind of like some makeshift bridges that go across this giant crack in the ground. This is obviously like, I would say that the crack is a very large in diameter. I would say that the kind of edges of it are I would say maybe like a quarter of a football field, so probably 25 yards. I mean, this is somewhere that you could really dump something into. The crack has actually come back and has absorbed one of these houses. These houses look like really nice bungalows that were constructed here, but have been remade in some effort. So half of a bungalow is kind of like hanging into this giant glowing crevice, but there are 4 other bungalows that are there that are decorated with a number of different severed limbs attached to spikes, chains that hang them up around the multicolored houses, and all of them have kind of addresses written out on them, all on Club Circle. There's 101, 102, 103, and 105. Out of 104 comes a large green super mutant that has 3 cockroaches, what do we call them? Rad roaches, in his hands, and starts tossing them into the pit, clasps his hands together, says a little prayer, and walks back into 104 Club Circle. I would say that, Frankie, you saw all of this by kind of like peeping through the scope and saw that like super mutant do that through the scope of your rifle. What are you all going to do?
What's inside the glowing green cavusi?
You want to go down and kind of look at that?
Listen, glowing green is my aesthetic.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I'm going to defer to Frankie, though. But I will say that Abel is kind of curious about this green glow.
Look, guys, I didn't see any tortured humans yet.
Yeah,
They're cooking up some rad roaches. They got some green glowingness going on.
Yeah, they do.
And they seem to be praying.
Praying?
Sounds like some weird shit to me, but honestly,
I mean that just
Okay,
sounds like a ritual. It's just it's a ritual. Does it make you feel better if we just call it a ritual?
It sounds a lot like a ritual. I agree. I agree. That does.
Yeah. In some ways that makes me feel better about this, and in some ways it makes me feel way worse.
Right.
I think we should definitely look into it a little bit more.
Does it make you feel worse because we're going to kill them all?
It makes me feel worse because if they were just mindless animals, they'd be dangerous, but we would have a reason to kill them. If they're intelligent and organized enough to have religion, that speaks of their intelligence, but also with certain... Abel, can you cover your ears?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds fucking culty. I'm out. Got it? All right, you can uncover your ears now.
Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing of like, what if they just had some roaches on hand, but they really wish they had some humans to be sacrificing to their growing green pit?
That would be
That's my
completely
hesitation.
different type of ritual. I mean, you can't just sacrifice rad roaches in exchange for like humans for rituals. It's just
honestly, Abel, what it sounds like is that you're volunteering to take Hazel's place as being our envoy to the super mutants.
And I'll be honest, no offense to Miss Greenglass, she's quite capable. I'm not sure why we didn't think of that in the first place. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
So you want to go down there and talk to him?
Absolutely.
Hazel,
Okay,
should we
if
just
you're-
let him do it, or
So I am comfortable with him going down there and having a talk with the super mutants. Maybe there's something you can. I don't know if it'd be a good idea for you to emulate what they're doing, but if me and Frankie have you in sight, like if we have our guns trained on the areas you're walking into, at least we can give you cover fire if you have to run.
Okay.
and I got
And
that new like darkness thing too. Remember that? So
true, and Punchy
you
can
know,
be
I
your
think he can handle it.
cheerleader. Yeah, Punchy can be your cheerleader. We'll give you cover fire.
Okay. I
Godspeed.
So, GM, from what direction would I be making my approach? Because for whatever reason in my head, I imagined the north, but I could be completely.
So actually, no, it's going to be from the south. So think of it like a
Okay.
cul-de-sac. Like 103 is the top of the cul-de-sac.
Got it.
Starting with
Okay.
101, 102, 103. It's kind of like a number of different real estate buildings that were built for new developments and then was swallowed up by a
Got
giant
it.
crack in the earth.
Okay. So I would be approaching from the south. Now, the super mutant that we witnessed throwing the 3 rad roaches into the Kavusi and praying, that was 104, correct?
If you think so.
Was it building 104?
I'll have you roll for memory on that because it's all.
Are you penalizing the player and not the character?
It would be Frankie who would know these things. So I would say
fair enough.
You would have to ask
Okay,
him.
it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
I'm enjoying messing with people tonight. It's a great.
Okay. All right.
Great game.
Well, I will.
This is what happens when you haven't played in a month.
You know what? What direction do I go from? I start from the right and go left. Not knowing what the normal traffic laws are and not really caring about what address numbers are, I start from the right and I work my way left. So I'd like to make my approach towards 105 Club Circle. However, I would like to try to get an idea of what's going on with this gaping maw.
So do you want to gaze into the gaping maw? Is that what you kind of want to do first?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do a perception plus survival check for difficulty 5. There will be mixed successes depending on how much you get.
Perception, survival.
If you get all 5, then I'll tell you exactly what's down there. But if you get less,
I'll spend an AP.
Cool.
Perception, survival. I don't anticipate getting a great result. Yeah, just the one.
One success. I would say that you look down into this gaping maw. It is a deep hole within the earth. That light is kind of emanating from a central line within it. It's kind of like flowing. The light itself is flowing up. You can't see the bottom clearly because it is just so bright at its apex, but you kind of hear like a low rumble and a low growl from within the pit.
Okay. This would register as something unusual and foreign to Abel, I'm guessing. This is not something that Abel... Okay.
Yeah.
But there is what appears to be some type of green fluid, green liquid, glowing green liquid, very far down and far away.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's interesting. I'm going to proceed down the whatever constitutes a sidewalk and I guess make my way to 105, which would be the first domicile.
So is everybody going with you? What was the game plan of attack?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, I think it was just to let me go alone and watch me through rifle scopes.
Okay, cool.
Punchy's
Yeah.
gonna follow behind him.
Of course he is.
Okay. I was just double checking to make sure. All right. So you come upon 105 Club Circle. 105 Club Circle is a typical bungalow. All of these bungalows, and I'll tell you just to make things easier, are all pretty much decorated the exact same to the initial starting house or Fallout 5. There is as you enter, there is like kind of like a living room area. There's a kitchenette behind it. To the left side, there's kind of a washroom, a bathroom, and then 2 bedrooms in each of these houses. This one is particularly weird though, because it seems like all of the like fixtures and all of the different like metal contraptions and pieces have all been kind of like ripped off of the wall and dragged. There's a carport on the side of it, and you kind of look around, you can kind of like eye the other houses, and you see that there are like rusted cars at these carports, but this one doesn't have that. What it does have is kind of like almost like a circle of junk around this carport, and the junk looks odd and out of the ordinary itself.
So the junk looks odd and out of the ordinary.
Yes.
Okay. What could you tell me the most recognizable piece of junk?
How about I have you just like search through that junk just to kind of like search through it? I promise there's not going to be. I mean, do you want to just kind of like eye it around?
I'm going to stick to the sidewalk. I'm not getting that close. So basically, I am searching with my eyes. Do I see a muffler? Do I see a kitchen sink? Like, what is there anything recognizable, or does this just seem like pretty alien for someone who lived on the outskirts of society during the
I mean, it's pretty. I tell you what, do a perception plus repair for difficulty 1.
Okay. Not anticipating anything. Yeah.
You can tell that somebody was working on something at the spot, and all of this junk around it was unusual to be there, and they were working on something right there. If you wanted to go search through it, you could, but that's what you can kind of tell from a distance.
It was organized to someone's standard.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I will make a note that 105 Club Circle appears to have been some type of workshop type thing. And do I hear or see any movement? Anyone out gardening?
No.
Okay. I will proceed north to 104 Club Circle.
Yeah, for this one, I'm gonna have you do kind of like I'm gonna have you do a agility plus sneak to kind of do recon on this. I'm gonna have it be a difficulty 2, agility plus sneak.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll this one en naturel. I do feel that for my centipede monk training appears to be coming into play here. I feel like my footfalls are more spread out, that my body's moving a bit more fluidly. Not that means a goddamn thing. I'm going to spend a luck point to mitigate that 20.
A 19 and a 20. Yeesh.
So the 20 becomes an 18. The centipede has a lot of work to do.
You just drank that tea recently. It's not a.
Yeah,
you didn't
got
feed it enough yet.
It's got a seep. It's got a seep. So yeah, I just I fail. I got 0 successes.
Yeah. Right, you did get 0 successes. Which is funny because you were shooting for under a 10, so you had a 50-50 chance at that. what happens is you're kind of like walking through the yard, and you there's like an uneven sidewalk pavement, and you just like trip and bust ass. And Punchy, seeing him trip, you go to roll forward to help him, and it's just a lot of loud sounds. There's a metal robot. There's Abel tripping over, and the super mutant from earlier. You can see a kind of like appears through the doorway, and very cautiously approaches you, and says, "Here for Pit."
For Pip?
Throw in the pit. Throw in the pit.
Throw in the pit. Oh, what are we throwing in the pit today?
I throw big bug. 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 big bug into pit. Pit like this. I look for more. Do you know big bug to throw into pit?
We can go look for some.
Are you bug?
I'm not bug.
Charisma plus speech for difficulty 1.
Damn. Okay. My rolls have been so great tonight. Charisma, speech, difficulty 1.
These are not great rolls.
They're not. And
You should change out your dice. You should work on that.
Let me refresh my browser real quick.
How about you?
Can Punchy go, he's not a bug. He's not.
Yeah, do an assist for him. We'll let you assist.
Speech?
Yeah. We'll take the first one for that, which is still a success. So you pull it off, and he's about to go and pick you up, Abel, but he kind of hears Pudgy say this, and he says, "Oh, not a bug. Need big bug. Throw into pit. Make master happy."
Would you like to go look for big bug?
Need to go cut up big bug to throw into pit. 2 big bug, not small bug. Need to throw big bug into pit. Need to go cut it up.
Do you need help?
Yes.
Okay. Can I help?
You can help if you wish.
Sure.
Yeah, and so he kind of like saunters back towards this bungalow and enters into kind of that like kitchen area. Laid upon the table is a hang on. Who would that be? Oh, it is a kind of a man that's in it's like a man that's in a one of those the flame retardant suits that you had seen previously. This looks like a member of the flame retardant folks, as they call them, the retardants. That is upon the table, presumably dead, is lifeless and still, and he's kind of pulling open of like trying to see if he can sharpen his cleaver, and keeps on like trying to cut at the flame retardant guy, and it's just like not. It's just like when your knife's not sharp, and you try to cut something, it's just like not. It's not doing it. And he says, "Need to cut up bug. Can not bug help me cut up bug, please?"
Sure. All right. So Abel, with his limited medicine skill, are there any signs of life in this guy? Alternatively, are there any signs of death in this guy? So
do it. Let's, you're rolling so great. Let's do a perception plus medicine roll for difficulty 1. Let's get you a win somewhere.
No.
It's not going to be there. That's a 17 and a 15.
Okay, so this it's like just Sleeping Beauty right now. Like there's nothing that shows like, oh, he's definitively dead, but there's nothing that's showing that he's definitively alive.
Yep. First glance, you think he's just motionless.
Okay.
Like there's just no motion.
If you start cutting him up and he screams, that means he's alive.
Right, that was my thought too. So in lieu of cutting him up, is his like head exposed, or does he have like the full silver suit on?
He's got the full silver suit on.
Okay.
My man's out here looking like Silver Surfer, you know.
Got it. I would like to remove the helmet.
Okay, yeah, you do. And so it pulls back to a man with it's kind of ghoulish itself, but not like typical. I would say it's just kind of like burnt flesh as you kind of like peel back this.
Okay,
this guy's,
I've seen similar. I imagine.
Yeah, you have. Do a luck plus survival for difficulty 0.
You were trying your best to get me to generate some AP, and I appreciate it. That's one.
That's one success. Yeah, as you like start to like take off this hood, you feel like a weird tense sensation in your body. It feels like it's super weird and tenses up, and like at the same time, like you see like lines in this guy's cheek kind of move down its face, like just like small lines moving throughout his body, and you feel a weird sensation all over your body.
Like when you say weird sensation, like heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, you got the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. In my ascetic training as a centipede monk person,
Yeah.
did I learn how to communicate with my centipede, or is this just like...
You can try.
Okay. I would like to try to communicate with Kane, my centipede. Friends of yours?
No, I'm just gonna,
Can I spend a luck point?
No, we're not gonna spend a luck point. I'm just gonna tell you, but I'm not gonna. So what, so you guys, friends of yours, and, you feel this like sensation, like this is one of the most beautiful baby faces to have ever existed that's laying on this table right in front of you. It is an absolutely amazing sight to behold, and you know that just you know, you've heard stories maybe of enchanted lands before, but just with True Love's Kiss, that your Prince Charming or Princess Charming will wake up with True Love's Kiss. That is what you feel in your body.
Oh my god.
Okay. Cool. I've been preached about that like my entire life, and I'm kind of a little bit jaded by the whole like meant to be type of stuff. So I'm just going to start with like grabbing by like the cheek and just kind of like shaking him a little bit, seeing if I can get him to wake up.
Yeah, when you do that, kind of like a few like tiny centipedes come crawling out of his mouth.
Did he call for sputter or anything like that when it happened?
Nope. Just the centipedes crawling out of his mouth. So Mr. Handy appears from the corner and begins to turn on his buzzsaw blade. So Frankie, I'll need you to roll an agility plus melee weapons for a difficulty 2.
Oh, that's a 19 and a 20. Not a great result, but fortunately, this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped has revolutionized the grooming industry. I've been using this lawnmower 5.0 product because guess what? It's ding dong ding, summertime, people. It's hot. I'm hairy, and sometimes I just lay in bed at night and radiate heat. But not with the lawnmower 5.0 right here. I normally have to do these endless passes to try to get my Kentucky bluegrass in line with the neighbors, you know what I mean? But the lawnmower 5.0 got it right the very first time. It's got these really interesting skin-safe blades that prevent some horrendously unfortunate nicking that normally occurs when I do this flavor of weed whacking. I literally just go willy-nilly on the area, and my comfort level has drastically increased. It's got nice scars that get you the style you want, as well as a different head for an even closer shave. And as a man, it's worth it to treat yourself and invest in some nice grooming equipment. Don't let some strange robot with an odd British voice be touching you on the most vulnerable parts of yourself. Get quality items that will improve your comfort and look. And get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RADROLLS at manscaped.com. Yes, that's 20% off plus free shipping with the code RADROLLS at manscaped.com. For the premium grooming experience, trust Manscaped.
All right. Is our super mutant friend distracted? And
I mean, he's kind of
importantly-
watching you. He's kind of watching you anxiously, like.
Okay. And more importantly,
Bug?
is Punchy distracted?
I don't know, Punchy. Where are you at?
Oh no, Punchy is watching this intently, but from a safe
Great.
distance because he's also keeping an eye on the super mutant.
Okay. Punchy.
Yeah.
Things might get really weird, okay?
Trust me, whatever's going to happen isn't going to be the weirdest thing that's happened today.
Bet. I am going to get close to this face. I mean, nose to nose. Like, very close to this face.
Okay.
And I'm going to tilt in as though about to give a romantic kiss, and about 2 inches from making mouth to mouth, I'm going to open my mouth wide and see what Kane does.
Agility plus luck for difficulty 2.
Try again.
I knew I felt it in my bones. I was gonna do one of those tonight. I felt it. I'm like, it's been a month. We haven't done this in a while. I'm gonna pull one of those out.
Gotta happen.
What is it? Luck plus athletics. Great. Difficulty 2.
Okay. I am going to spend a AP and get 1.
17, a 1, and a
luck
13.
point.
3 successes. Wow. That's great. Yeah, you kind of like open yourself into this person, and a centipede flies out of your mouth and flies into their mouth. All of a sudden, you're given visions of essentially a task force was roaming through the bloomed area, sent by Prosperity Forge. As they were walking throughout the area, you kind of you were on a mission, and it was to intercept the large creature that that heaven above has ordered you to do. Leading your party was, of course, one of the judges, one of the most important people sent from heaven, almost like an angel unto you, was a man in a lab coat with many syringes attached to him. And as you all approach the area to essentially destroy the monster, one after one, you were cast into the pit, except for you. You hid in the bushes behind, and as your feet sank into the dirt beneath, a force started pulling on you and grabbing you deeper as your feet stung in. You tried to remove them, but all of a sudden, a number of critters were crawling up onto your body and up. And as you were trying to spray them out, they crawled into your mouth, and that is the last thing that you remember. And the centipede retracts from the man's mouth and goes back into yours. And it says, that's good. Or I feel like he needs like a catchphrase.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Yummy, yum, yum.
That was beautiful, Abel. That was really beautiful. I'm glad I
was
got to see that.
So to recap, I saw what was presumably this individual's last memories. That they were part of a larger task force of
a bunch of retardants all together, gonna go out to the woods.
Along with Dr. Monday.
Yes.
Dr. Monday was leading.
Yes.
And somehow this individual met a different end from his colleagues, which were thrown into the pit, presumably because they looked like silver shiny bugs. And this one was actually taken over by bugs. And Dr. Monday didn't feel the need to talk about this and somehow survived the altercation as well. Cool. Okay. I would like to show the super mutant this individual's head, face, whatever, and say, not a bug.
But there are little eensy weensy bugs crawling. So this isn't hive of bugs, this is just not bug?
It's dead man.
Dead man.
Dead man.
Why you kiss dead man? Not bug culture?
It's dead man culture.
Dead man culture.
Yes.
Good. Good. I like dead man culture. Want to know more.
Here we go.
I think he's going to try to kiss you, Abel. It's a beautiful thing.
I don't think that's great for any party involved. Do you have friends?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Not bug.
How many friends?
Not dead man.
Yeah, not dead men, not bugs.
Green guys like you. You got a lot of friends.
I had lots of friends. Went into pit. Just 3 left.
Your friends went into the pit.
Yeah.
Did they get thrown into the pit, or did they?
No, Master asked.
Who is Master?
Master of the pit.
Master of the pit. What does Master of the pit look like?
Big green.
Big green. Okay. Does Master of the Pit live up here or down there?
Master of Pit lives in pit.
Okay.
Good pit. Love pit. Throw dead bug into pit.
For master.
Yummy in Master Tummy.
Okay. Got it. What's
Big
in
pit
the
fan.
pit?
Master.
What else is in the pit?
Dead bug.
Okay. What's
Friends.
the green stuff in the pit?
I would say that this would be a charisma plus intelligence because you're like trying to communicate.
No, it's not.
This would be a charisma plus science, I would think, because you're trying to like communicate with you're trying to get on his level to figure out what that stuff is.
Okay. I'm not super great on that. I'm just kind of, I was just kind of fishing to see.
Yeah.
But it seems like to Abel, I'm not going to get anywhere because he probably doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I'm not going to push the issue. So can I visit friends?
Friends live in houses. Go
Okay.
see friends.
Okay.
Tell them Big Boy sent you.
Big boy.
That's me.
All right. Thank
Big Boy.
you, big boy.
You're welcome, dead man.
I'll take it. All right. I will leave 104 and let the chips fall where they may for the other dead man. He might get thrown in the pit. He might not. What's it to me? At least I don't have to cut up a corpse. As I work around, 103 Club Circle is the one that's kind of been reclaimed by nature as a result of this.
So it is
this
teetering
rift.
on its side. You can tell, like it looks like a house that is half cut open. You can't really tell what's inside it from. You'd have to be looking up from it in the pit, but it's half cut open, and it would be very dangerous to enter it. It could fall in. You could hurt something. It is kind of like teetering on the edge. You can tell just from looking at it that it would be dangerous to do that.
Okay, so there's probably like at least one of the super mutants lives there. No, it's a joke.
Well, I mean, you try to figure it out.
I'm just going to circle around because I know there's two others, and I'm going to go for the houses that aren't teetering on the edge to try to find those. So as we round the cul-de-sac, that brings us to House 102 Club Circle.
Yeah, okay. So you kind of you're peering at this house from outside, right?
Staying from the sidewalk. I'm respectful.
Okay, yeah. Perception plus science for difficulty 3. No, 2. But I give you 2. I feel bad. I'm supposed to be a fan of you and your character, and this would be a 3
Don't be
roll.
a fan of me.
For
These
you-
are not things that I'm good at.
Well, I know, but this is a 2 roll for you, and a perception plus science, a 9 and a 12. You don't notice anything. This is just a normal old house. It's as normal can get. And next to the glowing pit, it is the most normal house on the block, for sure.
Okay. Well, nobody outside?
Nope.
Okay. Punchy, how do you feel about me knocking on the door?
Yeah, knock on the door. Yeah.
I'm a professional door knocker. I'll go up and knock on the door.
So there is a doorbell as well at this kind of door area.
I don't know what the hell those are. I'm knocking the door.
Yeah, so you knock on the door and nobody answers. There's not a peep, not a sliver of information.
Punchy's
Punchy.
gonna hit the doorbell.
Oh, I was about to say, Now, a professional door knocker. What's that button?
The doorbell.
Yeah, so you ring the
Rings
doorbell,
the bell.
and from the door itself, a compartment opens, and a kind of like square green and black, like green gridded object rushes forth. Punchy, you would recognize this as a handprint scanner that is kind of shot forth.
Oh, they got security. Look around for a hand.
I mean, I've got two.
Just, sure. Try your hand, but maybe it'll work. Yeah. Go ahead
Okay.
and put your hand on that. You non-dominant hand, just in case there's security.
Non-dominant. So like got it. So I'll put my left hand on the scanner. It probably feels weird because it's probably meant for a right hand, but
Yeah, you put it on there, and it just flashes red and goes.
I'm gonna guess that's a bad result.
I mean, try your other hand. You never know.
Okay, all right. I'll try my right hand.
Okay, yeah, you put it on the scanner, and it flashes red and goes.
It's not that one either.
That's very frustrating. This is a very frustrating situation. It's yeah. And Punchy's just gonna take his claw and smash it down on the handprint scanner.
Yeah, let's do a strength plus unarmed for difficulty 1. So just like
Let's see what happens.
whole new level of yeah.
I'd be like, I thought you had to be
Two.
gentle.
A 2 and a 19. Yeah, you just finger blast this whole like scanner.
Finger
like
blast.
You just like pincer blast, I guess. You just like just like shove your hand in there, and all of a sudden it goes ding ding, and the door opens. Inside this bungalow, actually, all of the furniture has been cleared out. The windows are actually covered up by pictures, it seems like, of what a normal inside of a bungalow would look like. Inside that is a large amount of television screens and a computer right underneath it that are all kind of centered around this, and a number of different wires that are kind of going into the ground there.
This is a very interesting setup. I assume none of the TVs are on.
The TVs are on, I would say, and they are all video feeds of the complex.
Define complex.
It is video feeds of the outdoors and interiors of every single building within the complex. I would say there's
like in this like HOA type deal, or
yes.
Okay,
So
got it.
So 10% of those are just green, like they are just bright green. The other 90% are the interiors of the houses that you have visited, and the exterior feeds of these houses as well on these screens, as well as at the bottom there's the computer, of course, that has its own screen like ready for manipulating.
Do we see on the monitors? Do we see any super mutants beside Big Boy?
You can see Big Boy is kind of just okay. So besides Big Boy, yes, there are 2 super mutants. They seem like they are sitting in the dilapidated house that is kind of on the cliff. They have these strange kind of nails like attached to everything, and they're sitting sideways. It seems like mimicking daily life, I would say. One is sitting reading the newspaper, and the other one is kind of like playing with a coffee pot and some coffee.
Well, if we could find a way to push that house off the cliff, that would take care of 2 of the super mutants. That'd be good.
But they're not doing anything.
Aren't they, though? Aren't they?
They're reading the paper and playing with a kettle.
Abel,
One of them was
What are we here
throwing
for?
roaches in the cavern.
I think we're here for a very specific reason.
Remind me what that is, Punchy.
I think we're here to kill all these super mutants. That's what my dad wants. That's what the paladin wants. We were told
Which
to
is it?
clear out this
Is it
super
your
mutant king.
dad or the paladin?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly, Abel. So we know what 2 of them are. We just, if we can find a way to knock that house into the crevasse, we could just, maybe we could both take Big Boy. Maybe Frankie can snipe him if we can communicate to him.
Punchy.
Yeah,
How
we
old-
can
how-
do this.
What's your
What?
What's your earliest memory, Punchy? What's your earliest memory?
I mean, is now really the time, Abel? It's being a kid in St. Louis, but that has nothing to do with nothing right
St.
now.
Louis. Okay.
We're here for a
What
mission.
year were you a kid in St. Louis?
What?
What year were
you're
you a
joking
kid
around,
in St. Louis?
Abel.
No. What year were you a kid in St. Louis?
You're just being funny. Hey, what's this computer over here? And Punchy's gonna roll up to the computer.
Yeah. So welcome to
think I can-
Wordle. It's the old password game, and so you're gonna do an intelligence plus survival for difficulty 1 to try to hack this terminal.
Really, intelligence and survival. All right,
No, wait. Did I say survival? I meant science.
that's what makes more sense. Science.
Yeah, a 2 and an 18. That is 1 success. So, the computer screen accepts your password. The password was, of course, purity. And it says, "Welcome, Enclave Officer." And it has an archive of logs in this computer screen.
Oh, do you want to do some reading, Abel?
Yeah, I would like to read more about when you were a kid in St. Louis.
What? That you can't read about that, you silly goose.
Yeah.
You funny guy. Let's
when-
look at this first log. Click.
So
Yeah,
there are a total of 3 logs within this kind of archive that you have. You click on that log and screens start almost rewinding themselves in front of you. That shows you a surveillance scene of it seemed like there are about 30 different super mutants that were inhabiting this area. They were essentially being covered up for a ceremony. It seems like a number of the centipedes have gathered bugs in large crates and are dumping them onto the heads of their friends, particularly people that are close to the glowing circle. They would get a bunch of bugs kind of dumped on them, and one of them would intentionally jump off into the glowing pit.
Abel, I think it is a sex thing. Look at this. They're dumping bugs all over each other. Whoa. You're into some weird stuff, man.
I don't think I'm into bug sex per se, and usually I'm not into genealogy either. I'm just trying to parse how somebody 200 years younger than you could be your dad.
What's the next log say? Click.
It shows you a scene of a number of the different retardants fighting against the super mutants, setting a lot of the village on fire, them essentially trying to cook the super mutants. That the moment they were on fire, they were jumping into the pit, but eventually the other retardants were pushed into the pit, The only thing that was out of place was Dr. Monday essentially pulling out what looks like as a pit boy and communicating onto it before a number of different lasers kind of like shine down from the sky, aiming towards the pit, and there is a large white flash of light.
That was Dr. Monday. Do you remember him, Abel? I remember him.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm surprised you remember him.
He's my doctor, Abel. Of course I remember him. You silly goose.
Yeah, but you also remember Paladin Magoo being your dad.
What? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Click. Let's see the last one.
This scene plays, and it looks like it's quiet across the front. Two power armor individuals come into frame, though. It's kind of fuzzy in the distance, and one of them kind of like is avoiding the cameras. The other one is kind of like peeping down into kind of this glowing pit, and is trying to get the lay of the land. He takes off his power armor helmet. He's a younger guy. He's got brown hair. He's just kind of like peeping down into it. The other one is like pulling a number of different like things out of the shed. Not the shed, the bungalow, and is assembling them. The guy puts the helmet back on and begins helping his friend that has stepped out of his power armor and is just kind of like attaching things to this car. There's kind of like a camera shake effect that happens as you see this kind of a giant homunculus of a hand that reaches out from the crevice itself towards the house. It is huge. It is monstrous in its effect. Likely each finger the size of a power armored individual, just of a conglomeration of green skin and bug that is reaching out and kind of like grabs into the earth. The two guys notice this, and you hear kind of like an engine turn over. A lot of like worried noises as one guy in the power armor kind of like sits on the hood of the car, while the other guy in the driver's seat turns over the engine and launches themselves as a face comes up from the pit. It launches kind of as they're driving off. It's almost like kind of like a clanking sound. It's very loud. There's like a roar and almost like green fire like erupting from this pit in this giant homunculus of a face that's just misshapen. A number of different like its eyes are kind of sagging. It's almost like a super mutant just like pieced together to make this giant monster. And this car with the power armored individual dives into the mouth, and trailing from behind it, a rope has been stuck to something, and behind it drags a suit of power armor that is decorated with pink flames. And that is where I will end the session for the week.
Whoa!
Who's got a suit of power armor with pink flames?
I don't know. Who does?
It's Pat.
No! No!